On today's podcast, we have a very interesting and rather controversial guest. Logan Paul is joining us.
Man himself.
Yeah, he's been at the center of a lot of controversy, and we're going to ask him, what is that like? What is it like being the heel of the internet?
And what does that do to you personally?
Yeah, how do you deal with that? So a lot of interesting questions here for Logan. He's a very young guy, so the amount of stuff he's dealt with at a young age, I don't think you're going to find anybody else on the planet with the same perspectives he'll have. Now, you may not like Logan Paul. In fact, I can bet pretty highly that if you're part of the corridor audience, you're not necessarily a huge Logan Paul fan. But listening to people is not the same as agreeing with them, and I find it fascinating to listen to all types of perspectives. So let's kick back, relax, and listen to this conversation with Logan Paul. So tell me about this documentary. Like,
what do you want to know, bro? It's the most important document of our generation.
what are you trying to achieve with this documentary?
Man, I guess I really should have thought about that, huh? My why? Why did I create this documentary? Man, this year I've been focused on doing things that intrigue me, and this flat Earth movement intrigued me. Do you know how much you know about the flat Earth?
I tend to avoid it, honestly, because I find I feel like the vast majority of people are doing it to be like ironic, and there's a couple of crazies that actually believe it.
I think it's the opposite.
Really?
I think there's a lot of people who believe it, and there's a couple people who do it just to be trolls.
Mm-hmm.
And this movement fascinated me. So we how do I say this? We went to the Flat Earth Conference in Denver, Colorado, and man, I don't know how much I can say about this because I gotta keep it kind of on the low. But we basically became one with the Flat Earthers.
Okay.
And joined their movement.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And picked their brains about why they think the Earth is flat, and then came to conclusions of our own, which obviously you'll see in the documentary. Like you too could be sitting in front of a flat earther right now. Who knows? You're gonna have to watch it.
Oh,
the
boy.
doc.
What do you attribute like this kind of like, I mean, for lack of a better word, like anti-science, like, anti-vaxxers and all that kind of stuff?
interesting.
Why is all this stuff rising up right now?
Yeah. So the conclusion I came to was people like to feel like they're a part of a group. They like to feel like they're a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Oftentimes, people feel isolated. They feel like they don't belong to anything. And the Flat Earth movement became a tight-knit community of people who all believe in something that, in their opinion, if it's true, could mean to a greater understanding of what it means to be a human. And they like that. They're attracted towards that. And yeah, I don't even know if it's so much about whether or not they actually believe the Earth is flat. They just like being part of a group. But I don't know.
Do you think there's any sort of like, I guess, narcissistic tendency to like feel like you know something that other people don't? Like
Yeah,
you're on
of
a different level?
course. Of course. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if you're just like an outcast in high school, and you grow up and you're still like kind of an outcast. And like most of these people are, as you can imagine, like you using your words, call them crazies. Okay. Like they are. And that's why they fascinate me. And so can you imagine if you're like a crazy and you look to your right at this conference and there's like another crazy there, and you look to your left and there's another person who thinks the same thing as you. And you got that little like understanding of what you perceive to be real, and you know something that the rest of the world doesn't. It's exciting. And I think they thrive on that. But again, I could be talking about myself, bro. Like, I'm fucking crazy. Like, who knows? Like, maybe I think the Earth is flat. All our podcast guests, we ask them, we say, what shape do you think the Earth is? And they're all just like, look at us. Some of them say flat. One of them was a flat earther.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We had a boxer on, and he said the Earth was flat.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you go into this convention and you guys got like hidden cameras. You're like sneaking, some shooting from the hip kind of thing, or you guys are going in like first day just to scout it and see what's up, and then
No hidden cameras.
no,
It's all
out in the open.
Yep.
Got you.
There's There's not much. There's no aspect of like none of it is fake per se. It's all real. Like we go to this conference and it's me, Logan Paul, filming a documentary.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been working on this for?
So the conference was, mid-November.
When are you dropping the final product?
I mean, dog, the original release date was like December 15th. So we are fucking behind. I want to do it as soon as possible. Hopefully early February seems about right. I want to drop a trailer first, obviously, and hype it up because this is the greatest thing I've ever made in my life. It's
wow.
I think it's if received properly, it will like send a tidal wave through YouTube. I want to do what Shane does. You know when Shane drops anything he's dropping now. Shane Dawson new like conspiracy series, whatever it is, it pops, and if it's received like that, which it should be because it's fucking incredible. That would be nice.
That's super interesting, man. Very, very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, getting into someone else's mind, like, why do you believe the things that you believe, and like, did you just suddenly wake up and like, you know what? I think the Earth is flat today.
You asking me?
You know, I'm just kind of asking.
Oh.
In general, like the people at this convention, it's like, how did that start?
So most of them, they start with hearing about it.
Yeah.
Even someone might watch this podcast.
Like us. Like
yes.
we know generally, so some people believe the Earth is flat. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, one day you find yourself in a rabbit hole on YouTube watching XYZ videos, and a lot of the theories make fucking sense. That's why it's such a big movement. Like a lot of the theories like actually make sense. And then before you know it, I'm sure something clicks in your brain where you're like, wow, this like, I might sound crazy. Like you're looking around like this could be possible. Like I might actually believe this. Then you meet another flat earther and they're like all gung ho about it. And before you know it, you're fucking attending the Flat Earth International Conference in Denver.
Wow.
What does I don't know, like, different people have different goals when they're filming documentaries, and I don't know if you were setting out to like challenge them per se. But did you have moments where you would like they would provide a point of view and you'd try to challenge it with like some other alternative?
Oh yeah.
How do they react to that? Like how does somebody like let's say
they got responses to everything.
Whoa.
Everything.
Yeah.
No matter what scientific evidence you provide them with, they got it. They got to be. Let's figure it out. And I mean, and this is the problem. I think not a problem. This is the thing. Is like a lot of the scientific evidence can be contested. One of the biggest ones, like unfortunately, is their argument against NASA. That every picture of the round Earth, the marble, the blue marble, is photoshopped. And like, we can NASA. No, it's NASA. Like, why would they lie? And like, no, like you've been lied to for the past 100 years. I mean, think about it. Have you been to space? I mean, if anyone's been to space, it's corridor digital. Like,
I've only been in an airplane up high.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but you can see the curvature of the Earth from an airplane.
They say you can't.
Well, you can. I mean,
it's crazy. It's
you
like,
can see the clouds curve around the horizon.
They say you can't. They've done their many noteworthy experiments.
Are they the same kind of people who deny the Holocaust and deny the moon landing?
Specifically the moon landing. But yes.
Well, I guess the moon landing would kind of go hand in hand with the flat Earth.
Is the moon flat?
I asked them that.
Wait.
Some of this is where it gets tricky.
Is it like?
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky. Some of them think yes. Some of them think no. Some of them don't know. They think it's like a celestial body placed there by the creator.
Okay.
And this is where it gets weird. Some of them say the stars are angels. Some of them think they are other distant celestial bodies super far off in the galaxy. They all don't believe the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is also interesting.
So it's like, why take a stance on the Earth is definitely not round, it's definitely flat? It's like, why isn't it just, I don't know. I've never been to space. They haven't been to space.
It's much more fun to put your foot down and just believe in something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because that's sort of me. Like, I went in very open-armed. My friend Mike, who was a flat earther, and he convinced me to go. So I went in open-armed and, made my conclusion at the end. But I tried to be very accepting of what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Interesting people to meet. Did they know who you were? Like,
Mhm.
were they familiar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of them left.
Oh, really?
One of the main speakers left.
Whoa. Like mid speech, like I'm out.
No. When he found out I was there, he dipped. He was supposed to. He's one of the main like flat Earth revolutionary leaders, and yeah, he found out I was there and he dipped. He was not happy with my presence.
It's actually this is.
I don't know if you guys know this. Not everyone on the internet likes me.
Well, actually, this is a kind of a good segue to that because I want to talk about that a little bit. Like, we encourage a lot of criticism on our videos that we put up there because that's, at least in our belief, that's how we become better filmmakers.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
big facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you obviously you're kind of at the center of many different you've been at the center of many different controversy hurricanes, or like I equate it to like being the heel in wrestling. And how do you deal with that? Like, do you compartmentalize your like public life from your private life? Do you yeah, I guess how do you deal with the pressure and the criticism of millions of people potentially, putting you at the focus of drama?
Yo, do what you got to do. If you want to hate on me and attack someone online, it's got to be me. Like, go for it. Like, that's not the kind of person I am. If that's you though, if you feel like you want to unleash your negative energy today on someone, like I can fucking handle it, dog. Like, I'm a tough guy. I could give a shit what anyone thinks. That's literally my entire brand. Like, be a fucking maverick. If I want to be weird and different, I'm gonna do it. I'm perfectly comfortable in my own skin, being myself. And at the end of the day, I find extreme comfort in knowing that like I am a good dude, and I told you this. Like, good morals. Most of the time, good morals, great energy, and I try to pass that on and bring happiness to the people around me. So it's not like I have much to worry about. If I was like actually a piece of shit, and at the end of the day, like I look at myself in the mirror, and I've had to do this before, right? And momentarily, not permanently talking about like overall life, Logan Paul essence, then it'd be a problem. But people telling me, yeah, go die. You're a piece of shit, scum of the earth. What, like, I could give a fuck. Like, sure, dude. I could never see myself saying that about someone. I think people are so quick to rush to conclusions and judge nowadays, and I'm so far above and beyond that. I'm here to inspire and make people happy, not put people down, even if they quite honestly do deserve to be put down. Like, unless it's my place and I feel very strongly about something, man, I'm not here to condemn people.
So how do you keep that from keeping you awake at night, for example? Or how do you keep that from getting to you and getting you down?
Sometimes it does, and when it does, like with the Japan thing, I fucked up. Something needed to change in my life. I needed a fucking slap in the face, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I needed even right now to this day, I am still like finding myself jumping into the mindset I was in then, and I'm like, whoa, stop. That needed to happen. So when I am losing sleep about it, or when I am looking in the mirror and finding myself questioning who I am, then it's like, okay, these millions of people are saying something to me, and it's time to listen.
Yeah.
And so I do. I make the necessary changes, some of which are still ongoing to this day, specifically with the Japan thing. A year later now, just over a year, it's like I'm still every day working to become better, but like, damn, I look back at my videos and it's very clear to me that I was just in a place of fucking recklessness, just nonsense. There was no thinking. Everything was automated, and there was no sense of empathy. It was go, create, bigger, better, faster, and it was just a downward spiral of bullshit and danger. But yeah, man, as far as like hatred and shit, like I don't give a fuck. Like I have millions of fans that do love me and appreciate my work and know who I am.
Mhm.
And like those are the people that keep me going.
Mm.
Shout out Low Gang. I fucking love y'all. Like I fucking love y'all, dude. And yeah, they're the ones like my fans are good people. They got smiles on their faces. They're here to inspire and create and achieve the goals they want to achieve. And again, that's the type of person I want watching my stuff, not the liberal on Twitter who wants to complain about everything because they want to get retweets and favorites. Like, fuck off. I don't care about that.
Mm-hmm. So you got the gang, the Low Gang, dedicated to you and everything that you do, right? So, and then you have everyone else who's hating and complaining and all this, right? So would you say that the world's view of you is different than your view of yourself?
When you say the world, do you mean the Low Gang? Because you just described two groups: the Low Gang or the haters.
The second one, the haters.
Okay, so I don't think the haters are haters, true haters. Like they might not like me. They definitely, most certainly, don't stand by things I've done. I don't stand by things I've done. We're on the same page. I think just like I have done ignorant things in my life, and ignorance has led to my downfall many times. Again, trying to cut back on that. I think their ignorance on who Logan Paul is leads to a misinformed calculation of their assessment of me.
Mm-hmm.
So currently they are a hater, but like I said, I'm a good dude. Like at the end of the day, I'm not here to piss people off. I'm here to joke around, have a good time, inspire, motivate, and create content on the internet. So I think it's ignorance on like you. I'm sure you know this this effect. I'll say something, I'll do something. The clip is taken, posted on Twitter. No one has any context about the thing, and people make their judgments, assessments. Logan Paul hate train begins. On to the next subject. Fuck Logan Paul until the next time he fucks up. They're not watching the podcasts every day in between and hearing the things I have to say. They're not watching the vlogs. They're not listening to me motivate millions of kids to go out and achieve their dreams. Like they don't, because they don't care. They don't let the good things I do. Like no, they don't care about the good things. It's
like I said, you're the heel.
I'm the heel, bro. I mean, it's fun to hate me. I get it. Like I get it. Cool. Go ahead. Do your thing. You want to hate? Go for it.
You brought up something interesting when you were talking last night, where you talked about how, it's not like you can look at somebody else who's doing what you're doing. Like there's not somebody else who's done the same thing as kind of paved the way.
There's no blueprint, bro.
Yeah. So, do you wish you had a mentor or somebody that you could like look up to that's kind of like paved the way first, or do you prefer kind of being out there and taking the punches sometimes?
Nah, I wish I had a mentor. I really do. And I've had some for different aspects of my life, but dog, you name me one motherfucking YouTuber who's become a boxer, is diving into music, is a director, is launching business ventures, multi-million-dollar business ventures, started his own clothing line. Like you can't do it because they don't exist. Successfully is the key. Because so far I've been successful in 90% of the things that I've done or started, and there's no blueprint for it. I have this saying. My friend Andy, shouts Andy, he told this to me. He goes, yo, don't be a pioneer. Everyone, yo, you're the pioneer in your field. Great, good for you. He goes, don't be a pioneer, be a buccaneer. When the pioneers came over to America, they were riddled with disease. Thousands of them died because they had no idea coming to this new land. The Indians slaughtered them. Granted, like that subject specifically, the pioneers definitely slaughtered the Indians, and that's a whole nother issue.
It was
in
a
itself.
tough life.
Yes, it's hard. It's a hard life being a pioneer. You're the first one to do something. You don't know what you're getting into. End of the day, you get fucked. You all die. The Buccaneers came second. They knew what to expect. They came with their protective clothes to not get bit by mosquitoes. They knew what weapons to bring, and they came with a mission and a mindset. The Buccaneers were the ones who succeeded and eventually formed what is now known as America. But don't be a pioneer, be a buccaneer. Unfortunately, I am a pioneer, so I'm going to be the one making the mistakes and doing everything that is new and breaking that new ground. I'm blessed to do it. I'm blessed to do it. I would have it no other way. But it would be nice to have a mentor who's done something similar. Because dude, I'm this year I'm so focused on growth and knowledge and wisdom.
And you're 23, right?
Yeah.
So you're in the big scheme of things. Well, even in the small scheme of things, you're young.
Yeah,
Really
still young. Yeah, but I'm almost 24, man. I'm turning 24 in like 3 months.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting older, dude. Sucks.
So when you say you're in the pursuit of growth, knowledge, wisdom, like what does that mean? Do you have specific areas you're trying to work out at, or like just generally everything, or what does that mean to you?
It's everything. Yeah, I think the more wisdom I can absorb from people from all walks of life, which is part of the reason I love doing my podcast so much, is because I get to talk to all sorts of fascinating people, and I'm gonna try and even diversify more. The better for me, and because I really think knowledge is power. Like I
agree.
I graduated high school with like a 4.0 GPA, full academic ride to college. I'm a fucking nerd, bro. Like math and science are my shit. And that was and combined with being an athlete was the thing that always made me excel and succeed. So I think now, man, can you imagine like 99% of people who don't like me think I'm a fucking moron. They're like, oh, that's the kid who, yo, what's going on, Logan? What's popping? They think I'm an idiot. They watch the podcast and every comment, yo, I really don't like Logan Paul, but this is really entertaining. I really like this podcast. This is like a side of him I haven't seen before because I get to use my brain and talk and like be articulate about things that again intrigue me. So can you imagine if I become this ultra well-versed human being who's got a plethora of knowledge in all sorts of different fields, and I can speak on subjects without being ignorant. Man, that would sure surprise people, I think. Yeah, I look forward to that day where I can wow people with my intelligence.
So I don't know about you, but like, obviously when the camera's on me, I'm elevated, right? I'm a bit of a different person on camera.
Even now?
Even now.
You seem pretty relaxed.
Nah, you're Niko. You're Niko right now.
I mean, but this is
you
like...
seem pretty Niko to me.
I'm pretty Niko'd right now.
You seem pretty Niko, dude.
No, I'm a little bit different right now. Like usually, if the cameras weren't on, I would be a little more rambly and a little more loose with what I'm saying, but right now I'm a little more focused. Things change a little bit. Now with you, like, how do you change when the cameras aren't rolling versus when they are? Like right now versus it's 10 p.m. you're sitting in bed or you're just hanging out with somebody having dinner. Like, what is Logan on camera versus Logan off camera?
The impulsive Logan on my podcast is that's the closest one you'll probably see online. Even now, like I'm pretty focused, pretty serious, bro. In real life, I'm a fucking nut. Granted, you want to hop into like a serious conversation, I'm all for it. I love that shit. There's nothing I find more satiating than deep conversation. But obviously on the vlogs, talking about bringing a lot of fucking energy, which I can do and is a part of me. Like it's a 50% of Logan take from the vlogs, 50% of Logan take from the podcast. That's me off camera. I still have a hella energy, but also can be like a human being sometimes.
So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Was it like end of 2018 you stopped doing the daily vlogs, right?
Yeah.
So how about now? What is it? How often are you doing vlogs now?
0.
Really?
They're coming back, Low Gang. They're coming back. But yeah, because I just got my tonsils out, man. I can't do shit.
Got you.
I had sex the other day. I started bleeding out my mouth the next morning twice. It's fucking horrible. The doctor told me, sorry, doctor. She told me not to have sex, and I did.
Wait, why are you bleeding out your mouth?
Because the tonsils, bro. You're not supposed to get your blood pressure high.
Is it like the breathing? Like
No.
like
It was the next morning. It didn't happen.
Oh.
It didn't happen in the moment. It's because the blood pressure raises, and then I think the scab. I don't know, bro. But it's whack as shit.
Did they give you ice cream?
Yeah, they gave me ice cream. But yo, I am 2 weeks out. I am 2 weeks and 15 days out, and I'm still bleeding out my fucking mouth, bro. The surgery sucks. So I haven't been able to do shit. But the vlogs are coming back. I'm gonna do 2 a week to answer your question. That's what I'm gonna do.
Gotcha.
I want to find a way to elevate them and also like be myself more.
Mm-hmm.
I put this in my end of year recap video. I was like, yo, when I started YouTube, I wanted to inject the vlogs with as much energy as I possibly could. That was the mindset. And now it's like, okay, I know people like me, so I don't have to put on a persona as much as I thought maybe I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to, because, you know, vlogs are, in my opinion, supposed to be the most fun, energizing part of the audience's day. So I want to bring it all to them, but I am going to be a little more of myself.
That's good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know, I had a question for you.
Hit me, bro.
So, you know, someone like you got a huge following. You're successful.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. You know, you're probably set financially, etc. You're at this center of a charisma and power bubble, right?
Yeah.
So, how does someone like that go about making friends? Like, how do you make friends when you have so many other factors at play that could easily taint a relationship like that?
Yeah, it's a great question. The answer is fuck making friends.
Do you have any friends?
Yeah, hell yeah. But fuck making more. Like, yo, my circle is tight and it's been tight for a while. Every friend I've had in my life has been my friend for a minute. The closest or the newest friend that I've made, I've known him for 2 years. His name is Andy. He's like the newest, like real tight-knit friend, like who I text on the reg. But like, when I don't, there is never an attempt to like, man, I gotta go make friends. It's always some sort of miraculous chain of events. The stars aligned, and for some reason, I run into this human being who I click with on a very spiritual, energetic level. Level. Those are the tonsils. That is just there's just a connection immediately. So yeah, fuck making new friends. I'm not like 100% against it, but you can imagine, dude, I have no idea people's intentions when they meet me, or who they are trying to be in order to like impress me. I don't know if they want to get in my content, whatever it is. Like, everyone who I've ended up making friends with, it happens some sort of weird way, and it's the most organic thing possible.
So how did Andy end up becoming your friend? Versus like all the other people out there.
Yeah. So Andy, my brother Jake, invited me on a trip to Italy to go pick up Lamborghinis we were gonna buy, and Jake's videographer Cade has a girlfriend named Mackenzie, and she said her brother Andy speaks fluent Italian, and they have like a villa up there. So we were gonna go to this guy Andy's place, and I met Andy, and within the first 5 seconds, I was like, whoa, yo, this dude is cool. Like, this dude's, I really like him. And I don't really like most people. Like, we don't like, it's not that I don't like people. I love people. It's like, I rarely feel this way about someone immediately. And,
Yeah.
And those, when I feel that way about someone, like, right off the bat, it tends to be a long-lasting friendship.
You think it has something to do with like traveling and being away from home, being away from work? I mean, maybe it was a work thing for you, going to, you know, filming the vlog, doing the cars and whatnot in Italy. But like, would you say that traveling, your walls were a bit brought down?
No. I think there was definitely an atmosphere. Sure, that was like magical, fun Italy, and we were all like having a good time. Sure, but I think this dude Andy gives off an energy like that is phenomenal. I can relate it to myself in many ways. We just clicked. We vibed and connected. Like I said, as I do with most of my friends, and even every girl I've had a lasting relationship with, it's the same way. Within the first hour, 2 hours, there's something where I'm like, I feel a certain way about this chick, and whether it's like, yo, she's like really cool and we really connect, and I enjoy like conversing with her, which is, again, like I could give a fuck about conversing with most people, dog, to be honest with you. But if I'm stimulated, like I'm I love that. I thrive in that. That's why even like on my podcast, like again, like start keep plugging my podcast, but like I love doing it because like I'm mentally stimulated for like an hour to an hour and a half just talking about things that intrigue me, and I love that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, how about your brother? Like, do you have a pretty close relationship with your brother?
I love Jake.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's my best friend. So yes, very close.
So, you know, when Corridor was starting and when Freddie W was starting, you know, I saw Freddie and Jimmy. You know, for those of you who don't know, Jimmy is Freddie's brother.
Jimmy hates me. Did you know that?
I'd probably guess that. Yeah.
You didn't have to guess.
How do you know?
He's made it very vocal. He's tweeted a lot at me,
okay.
and they were powerful tweets, and they got a lot of retweets, and I think he went hard on the disrespect towards Asians.
Mm.
That's what he focused. Not to derail you for a second, but Jimmy, I do want to, if you're watching this, I want to try to settle this, dog, because I think you're dope, and I believe in you, and I know your acting career is taking off, and it's a little disheartening because I grew up watching Freddie Wong, and obviously Jimmy too. There was the video game high school thing. He was great in that, and so I made this mistake in Japan, and surrounding the thing in Japan is me just being culturally insensitive, and I think a lot of people mistook that as something I have against the Asian community. Not the case. I was just being an asshole in general. I just happened to be in Japan. My ex-girlfriend is half Asian. Like, I have no qualms against any race or anyone in general. This year is about relationships. This year is about love. And Jimmy, I'm here to say I love you.
We'll send this podcast to Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
But where I'm going with that is that I saw Freddie and Jimmy both growing up in their careers, at least in the early stages, trying to like find their way where they're both kind of in a similar realm, you know. And Freddie was obviously blowing up with the Freddie W channel, which then became Rocket Jump, and Jimmy was, you know, finding his own way. But like, there was a little bit of a tension, at least that I sensed, where it's a little bit of that sibling rivalry, and they were supporting each other too. But at which point can you be independent versus relying on your sibling for support? And I'm wondering, you know, do you and Jake have similar issues that you deal with? Like, where do you like support him to the point where he also wants to be independent, or vice versa? And is there a rivalry between you guys versus you guys being very supportive of each other? Like, what is that relationship like?
Yeah, there was absolutely. There was that phase where we were the fledgling YouTubers who wanted to be the best. And when I was running the YouTube race, I would look to my right, see no competition. I looked to my left and see no competition. Wait a second. Is that my fucking brother? He was the only one, you know? So, of course, there was an inherent rivalry in the Jake and Logan Paul feud, and it became what it became. Nasty shit. There was the diss tracks, the whole wave of him trying to up the bar, me trying to up the bar, like actual physical like pranks and denouncing each other on the vlogs. It was bad. And then when he failed immensely and then I failed immensely, we both reached the conclusion that this is fucking stupid. This is my brother. No one in the world will have my back ever more than that human being right there, or understand where we came from and what we're doing now and how those are interconnected. No one knows that. No one's been through that journey other than Jake. You know, I talk about not having a blueprint for the shit I do and me not having like a mentor or a guide to follow. Neither does Jake. Like, he's got me and I've got him, man. So at the end of the day, we outgrew that shit. It's old. Like I said, love is going to connect Jake and I our whole entire lives, and there's no reason to sacrifice that because of some internet bullshit, money, fame, whatever it is. Fuck that, man. I don't care. I'm over that shit. Like, I'm 23 years old now. I feel like I've lived 10 fucking lives. I've failed over and over and over again and succeeded over and over and over again. And so has Jake. And like I said, man, there's no one who I love more in this world than Jake. And it's probably I hope it's the same for him to me, man. And we just outgrew it. We outgrew it, to answer your question.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly really healthy.
It is. It's the health. That's why even like when I don't know how much y'all are involved in like actually like YouTube culture, but like when KSI and Deji are feuding, like I had Deji on my podcast partially to piss KSI off because fuck that guy, but also to actually like maybe urge Deji to settle this thing that we're doing because it's not healthy, dude. I don't wish it upon any family for brothers to be fighting like and settling it on the internet, man. That is toxic shit.
Like
That's not a really good
why
spot to-
publicly? You know, like that doesn't need to be public. It's like
And they went deep. They went deep.
that's interesting to me, man. It's like they know it's gonna get views, and I think YouTube drama, people know it's gonna get views. So,
Yeah.
Go- I mean,
what
yo.
are the like? What are you like? Are you gonna go down the drama route and try and know that that's like, successful and money, or are you just gonna be like, hey, I should rather have a personal conversation with this person over here because, that's just more humane.
You just got to draw the line. And I think Deji specifically, not so much KSI. As much as I hate to say it, I do think KSI is wiser than Deji in the sense of he's older and Deji was very in Jake and I call it like tunnel vision mode, where like you don't really think about the repercussions. You see views, you see money, you see subscribers, you see your community rallying behind you and slapping you on the ass and saying, no, like you're right, no, you got this. And so you get a little bit of an ego. Next thing you know, you're making a fucking diss track on your own brother, and it gets nasty.
So when you're saying like I would earlier, like maybe like 30 minutes ago, you're saying, I would never say like I hate this person, blah 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 blah. Now with the boxing match, like you guys were going at it.
I really dislike KSI.
Okay, so
I made it clear. I said like I try hard unless I really truly believe in something. I try hard not to denounce people unless I really truly believe in it. I really dislike KSI.
Why?
He took our feud, our fun YouTube feud, to a level of utmost disrespect. You talk about me being the heel of YouTube. During our fight and the narrative of Logan Paul last year, KSI became the heel. A lot of my fans, a lot of the internet, a lot of people just watching, the press conferences and stuff, watched and exited with the belief that this dude KSI is a fucking dickhead. He talked shit about my family, talked shit about my girlfriend. He mocked me in some of the most vulnerable times of my life. And by the way, these are things I asked him not to do.
Oh,
I texted him personally. I'm like, yo, remember that contract we signed where it said I wouldn't bring up your sexual harassment issues in the past and you wouldn't bring up Japan just so we could like move forward and not make this a very toxic situation for all the fans to enjoy. And also so YouTube doesn't, by the way, niche our clip the entire fight because they're the ones, they're hosting it on YouTube. Completely ignored that. Asked him to leave Chloe out of it. Completely ignored that. Yeah, it was just there was too many shots below the belt for me to sit here and say like I respect this guy. And even after the fight, talking seconds after, it's a draw, unfortunately. I asked him, I'm like, yo, now that like we did this once, we're gonna do this again. Next time, just like man to man, mind you, we're both fucking sweating, can't even think. Eyes are red, bruises on our face, in horrible condition. I'm like, next time, like, yo, let's leave like the personal like girlfriend stuff out of it. Let's be a little classier. Like, would you be down for that? And this fucking fuckhead, bro. Like. He goes, yeah, man, yeah, nah. It's just a game, man. It's just the way it's just what it is what it is, And I'm like, bro, like, my girl's like a real girl. At the time, she's not my girlfriend anymore, but she's a real girl. She has feelings. She has a career. You do not deserve to say her name. And I'm asking you nicely to not do that. Like, and we just beat the shit out of each other. You think next time we can like be a little classier about this whole situation? Man, I can't imagine the shit that's going to come out of his mouth and my mouth for the next couple press conferences and for the next fight. I know what I'm going to say. I have a lot of ammunition now.
Well, here's the thing is like he steps it up, right? He's going below the belt. You feel the need to do the same.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I just got over the Japan thing, but here's me trying to be like a standout guy. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change and be like a I'm gonna try to be a good guy now. And you know, KSI then starts saying things that like I don't like, and so then I have to start saying things that I don't like about him and that don't reflect
Do you-
upon me well. Like
Do you think you need to step down to that level?
because it's entertaining, yes. And I'm a sucker for being an entertainer, bro. Like I just love to entertain. Like unfortunately, it's what people want. Like the juicier and the deeper I can dig my knife into the drama. Like unfortunately, yes, people like that shit. So I'm gonna do it. God bless America. And the answer is no. I don't have to. I just am probably going to. Here's the issue. Here's why it might not happen. It's not much left to say about me. So all the bases are covered. He pulled every punch he could. There's not much left to roast me on. So you want to bring up the past? Like, okay, we get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been talked about before.
It's been talked about. I got new material, bro. I got new material.
So you would rather entertain as opposed to change the dialogue?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I say that now. I just like, bro, I fucking love entertaining. I love the fans.
So
I want to give them what they want, bro. I want to give them something to talk about at dinner, man. That's me.
what would you do if you couldn't entertain? Like if there's no YouTube?
I'd be so my goal before I started YouTube, I wanted to create a product that would revolutionize the world. I was an engineer. I was studying engineering in college, and I wanted to create something that would change the face of human existence, like Elon Musk type shit.
Dude, Elon, yes.
Yeah. So didn't happen. Found a video camera and fucking here I am.
What was looking back? What was the first point where you're like, "Hey, this is blowing up"?
It was
What'd
on,
that feel like?
It was on Vine. It was on
Yeah.
Vine. There is literally no feeling better than that. Of your first post going viral,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, whoa, this is really something, man. I remember I had like 400 followers on Vine. I made this Vine. This guy named Austin Miles Jeter retweeted it or revined it. It was Revine at the time. And an hour later, I had 2,000 followers, dog.
Wow.
I was hot shit. I was a big man on campus, bro. Everyone in my town knew who I was, or so I thought. I go to Chipotle, and here I am, like, covering my face, expecting to get like mobbed. I mean, no one gave a fuck or knew who I was. Like, no one knew who I was. But here I am with 2,000 followers. Like, this is incredible. This is amazing. Got up to 10K, then got up to like 27K. Then met this guy named Jerome Jar. He flew me out to New York and made content with him. Got to 100K. Benchmark. Next thing you know, hop into Instagram, Facebook. 50 million fans on Facebook making sketches. And when those posts would go viral, like I'm sure you've seen, like Splitting the World, dabbing at the Olympics, like just these funny, crazy viral sketch videos. There's such an adrenaline rush of me. My full passion, the thing I love most in life is creating. I love it. But what can be that nice little sprinkle, that nice little cherry on top, is if the things that I create are received well and people enjoy them. That's it to me, bro. That's the cake. I love that shit. Because creating's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking dope.
Oh, it's great.
But I'm not sure I'd be doing it if there wasn't people saying I like it.
Dude, that's a very interesting point. I thought the same thing. Without YouTube, without social media, like, would I still be creating? Probably in some other way. Like I play drums up in my in the attic, and no one's really seeing that, and that's fun. But I got into it because I want to make films. I want to make like awesome stories, tell awesome stories that get people feeling a certain way, and like that's so much fun to me. That's cool.
If there aren't people to feel a certain way, then you have no reason to create an art.
It's interesting. It's interesting because you say you have no reason to create an art, and it's like, what is your reason? Which I've had to ask myself, is my reason because I truly love it? Yes. But also a thing I love maybe equally as much is that it is received and people enjoy it and it makes them happy. It affects them. It actually affects the way they feel, which is fucking sick. It's dope.
Yeah. I think that drives pretty much anybody in kind of like our arena of what we do, at least.
And that's why we don't stop, by the way, I think too, is like, and as long as you got people commenting and saying, yo, I love this. This is crazy. This inspires me. This is hilarious. People texting me, that video you put out today is dope. I like when you make this point. Like, I'm gonna be here for a minute, bro. Logan Paul is canceled, but I'm gonna be here for a minute.
So when you do something you love and you are doing it as a job, you risk turning what you love into a job.
Yeah.
So how do you keep creating stuff from becoming work to the point where you don't like doing it anymore?
I'm very lucky, and I've said this a lot, is rarely feel like I'm working. And the thing, my work is my play. You know, I don't really do much besides grind because that's the thing that makes me happy, luckily. However, when I hit that point where I have to like take a second and look around and I'm like, yo, this is feeling like work. This is no longer fun to me. Pull the plug. Pull that fucking plug. I have the luxury to pull that plug because, you know, I am financially secure. I'm happy elsewhere in my life. Like not a lot of people can do that. I'm very fortunate enough where I can like stop doing something and switch my focus to something else if that thing is no longer making me happy. Granted, I've been there in my life where you can't pull that plug and you got to bite that fucking bullet and, example, train 4 hours a day for 5 months to become a boxer, to fight some kid that you don't even care about, you just dislike. Like, I've been there to sit through hours and hours of studying to get an A+ on the test because I know if I keep getting A's and get a good score on my ACT, I'll get a full ride to college because my parents can't afford it themselves. Like, bite that bullet and sit through it and do what you got to do if you need to. Unfortunately for me, again, I don't have to. So I try to always keep my work my play. And when it doesn't end up becoming like that, like with the vlogs, for example, the daily vlogs, I was at a serious point where I was like, this shit is making me depressed. I am no longer happy. I'm under a microscope. I can't do this anymore. That was just I needed some creative spin. Now we got Impulsive. Now we got a full feature film documentary about the flat Earth. Yeah.
Interesting. I think a nice note to kind of circle back to and maybe wrap things up on. 2 questions, really. So way at the beginning of the vlog, we talked about being a good guy. I'm curious for you, how do you define that? How would you suggest people be a good person?
That's a great question. How would I suggest people be a good person? I would really urge people to try to empathize more. I think that's lost. I lost it last year. I don't even know if I ever had it, to be honest with you, growing up. I don't know if I was ever taught true empathy, which I think is part of my inherent problem. And even now, it's like I'm not fucking perfect. I make this very clear. I'm not perfect. But I try to empathize as much as I can. I see something happening on Twitter. Example, let's use that the kid in the Make America Great Again hat who was confronted by that Native American protester. Do you know about this story? So I'll use him as an example. Like, you know, the first narrative that came out is the MAGA kid and disrespecting an elder. And I sat back for a second, didn't put my tweet out, although a couple of my friends are like, yo, you should fucking say something about this. This kid is like, he could be in the low gang and like, this is like this is very dangerous what's happening. I'm like, okay, let's hold the beat. Let's wait 1 second before I denounce this kid and tell him that he's a piece of shit for smirking in this native's face with, by the way, no context or anything about the event. Like, that's what a stupid person would do, quite honestly. Like, I believe that's what someone who is trying to get retweets and favorites and be a leader for their community would do right off the bat. Story develops. Turns out there was some African-American demonstrator hurling racial slurs at this group of white kids, which is completely inappropriate and uncalled for. I don't know how much backstory, you know. I did my research. And then this Native American protester hopped in, started banging his drum in a song of peace. No one knows this is a song of peace besides his Native American friends. The kids don't know that. So the one kid just stood there like a jackass. He wanted to be cool in front of his friends and stand his ground in front of this Native American protester. And there was no build a wall chance. according to the video. It was just a weird situation where like the narrative was turned into a kid trying to be racist and be disrespectful to an elder. Was it disrespectful? Yeah, the kid looked like a fucking jackass. He's a prick. But like, okay, don't need to find his name, send letters to the college he applied to, and ruin his whole life because of it. Like, come on, the kid's he's a human. Let's empathize with him for a second. He's fucking what, 16, 17? He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's being an a-hole. So what? Like, I was an asshole when I was 16. I'm still an asshole sometimes. Like, so I would just urge people to try to empathize more and think critically before you make assessments or judgments on people. Do your research. I say this all the time. Investigate before you hop to a conclusion about something. That's all. And try to spread good energy. Like keep your vibes positive as much as you can. I know it's hard, but like we got a very happy household because we're all very candid with each other and we all love what we do. And surround yourself with the right people. You'll be good. Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Those are good ones. I got one more question.
Let's do it. Let's get this bread. Let's get this fucking bread. Oh.
What's your secret to success?
Oh. Man, I gotta attribute this to my work ethic, dude. Man, there's that's the core of it. Cause like I do have something innate in me. That is the talent that whether it can be characterized by the creativity or ability in the entertainment world to entertain. But you know, they say hard work beats talent. First, when I came to LA, I didn't believe that. You see these rappers like they fucking smoke and sip lean all day. They make one song a month and it pops off. And sure, that's a good lifestyle for a year or two. They ain't gonna last. They will not be here for a long time. It's about longevity, bro. So
yeah.
I'm gonna be a hard worker for the rest of my life. That will never stop. My work ethic, ingrained in me by my father, and growing up 18 years in Ohio, trying my best to get a full ride to college, whether it was going to be academic or athletic, can be attributed to the number one key factor behind my success. You got to work your fucking ass off if you want it. How bad you fucking want it? If you really want it, go get it. No excuses. Go get that shit. And you'll be met with roadblocks. That's life. Welcome to life. Thanks for joining us on this podcast. But push through it. Get over it. Do it.
Awesome,
right.
man.
Logan, thanks for coming out and joining us.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want people to check out of yours?
Man, just get your merch, bro. LoganPaul.com/shop. Join the Maverick movement. Get this bread. Oh.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Of course, bro.
Thanks, Logan.
Of course.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for joining us on the Corridor Cast. That was a fascinating conversation with Logan Paul. Logan, if you're listening, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the Corridor Cast YouTube channel, head on over there and do so. And I'd love to hear some comments from you guys on who you would like us to get to join us as guests. What would you like us to talk about? Heck, I'd love to see some conversation here on what we talked about in this podcast. Do you agree with the things that we were saying? Do you agree or disagree with the things that Logan was saying? There's been a lot of great discourse in the comments in the past, and it's one of my favorite things to read and participate in. So please head on over there and do so. And you can find the Corridor Cast on any other audio platform that has podcasts. So you can find, hopefully, your favorite podcast on your favorite podcast listening channels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't need to be in the intro and outro. Maybe I should just
I needed you as emotional support.
I'll just be right here.
So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.